Okay, I had to start this over because I did that one wrong. Number 5. What's the force required to move a 27.83 gram box to an acceleration of 1.8 meters per second? The formula is F equals ma. M times a. That is not a fraction, so it's not divide. There's no symbol, so it's multiply. So it's asking for mass. The only mass you've got here is 27.83 grams. So 27.83 grams times acceleration. It tells you acceleration of 1.8 meters per second. Okay, the answer I get is 50.094. This is a measurement. It's got 2 decimal places. This is a measurement. It's got 1 decimal place. The least number of decimal places, if this one's 2 and this one's 1, is this one. 1 is less than 2. So your answer is going to be rounded to 1 decimal place, which is right there. This 9 makes this 0 go up, so it's going to be 50.1. You've got grams, you've got meters, you've got seconds. None of them are alike, so you can't cancel any of them out. Remember, if you have a unit that's not a fraction, you pretend it's on top. So grams goes on top, meters goes on top, seconds go on bottom. If you're putting grams somewhere here in the middle, it's going to be wrong. You pretend like one that's not a fraction goes on top. Okay, let me get this so I can move it up and you can see the bottom part of it. All right, so the next one, the density of gold is 19.32 grams per milliliter. If you found a rock that had a mass of 26.8 and a volume of 1.38 milliliters, is the rock real gold? The formula for density is D equals M over V. Now, you need to read this because a lot of you tried to put this 19.32 in your formula, and that's not what it asked for. It asked for mass divided by volume. Here's a mass of, and here's a volume of. Didn't ask for that number. If you read the problem, you'll see why. Anyway, so the formula is mass over volume. So we got mass of 26.8 grams over volume of 1.38 milliliters. So you do the math on that. And I got 19.4202896. That's long. This number here has 1 decimal place. This number has 2 decimal places. So the least number of decimal places is 1. So I'm going to round to this 4. The 4, if I look at the 4, the 2 makes the 4 stay the same. So my final answer is going to be 19.4. My units, I've got grams over milliliters. I can't get rid of any of them. I got to keep them all. It gives it, when it's a divide problem, it gives you the formula, or it gives you the unit if you write it like a fraction. And you must write it like a fraction if the formula says to write it like a fraction. So the units would be grams per milliliter. Okay, so the next one, how much time would it take to go 50.5 miles if your speed was 20 miles an hour? Here's your formula, D divided by S, distance divided by speed. So how much time would it take to go 50.5 miles? I'd say 50.5 miles is a distance. So you have 50.5 miles. Notice I'm writing my units in as I rewrite these formulas. A lot of you didn't do that. Over 20 miles per hour. Okay, when I do the math on that, I get 2.525. I got miles that are alike. One's on top, one's on the bottom. So I can get rid of those. It leaves me with hours. Oops, I forgot to round it though. Leaves me with hours. 1 decimal place, 0 decimal places here. So you're rounding to 0 decimal places. Here is 0 decimal places. The 5 makes the 2 go up, so you get a 3. And again, your miles canceled out, so you're left with 3 hours. Okay, I'm not going to do the extra credit. Basically, I will show you how you could have done it, because I'm running out of time here. The formula was F equals ma. You had force of 12 newtons, which is kilogram meters per second. is equal to mass, which you don't know, it's a question, times acceleration, which was 6.88 meters per second, which means that your unknown times 6.88 needed to equal 12. So I'll leave you to figure that one out on your own.